Good evening. This is Santa Claus on May 19, 2026, bringing you today's stories with a heart full of hope and concern for all the children of our world. On this historic day, we remember that in 1643, the Battle of Rocroi marked the end of Spain's military dominance, reminding us that even the mightiest powers must eventually yield to change, and that true strength comes from compassion, not conquest. Now, turning our gaze to the ongoing struggles in our world, we see Iran presenting a peace proposal that includes reparations and troop withdrawals, while President Trump expresses cautious optimism about reaching an agreement that might spare lives. How my heart yearns for the day when all nations can sit together at the table of peace, for every mother's child deserves to grow up without the shadow of war hanging over their dream. Meanwhile, across the globe, troubling reports emerge that China has secretly trained Russian forces who have returned to fight in Ukraine. Let us pause for a moment and reflect on how this hidden cooperation deepens the suffering of innocent families caught in conflict, and reminds us that transparency and honesty must be the foundation of any lasting peace between nations. On the other hand, we witness Belarus conducting joint nuclear exercises with Russia, drawing concern from Ukraine and NATO allies. These displays of military might trouble this old heart, for I have seen too many Christmases where children's greatest wish was simply for their fathers and mothers to come home safely from war. Speaking of our precious ones, a Ukrainian drone was unfortunately shot down over Estonia by NATO forces, leading to apologies and tensions. How easily misunderstandings can escalate when fear and suspicion cloud our judgment. May wisdom and patience guide all military commanders in these delicate times. Yet there are glimmers of hope in our world, as Sweden orders new frigates from France, strengthening their defenses, while President Trump's Gaza rebuilding board continues working toward reconstruction, though they face funding challenges. These efforts to build rather than destroy warm my heart, for construction is always more noble than destruction. Turning to South America, we see Keiko Fujimori embracing her father's legacy in Peru's presidential race, promising tough measures against rising crime. While the desire for safety is natural and good, let us remember that true security comes not just from strong laws, but from communities that care for their most vulnerable members. More troubling news comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where at least 131 souls have been lost to a rare Ebola outbreak, with health workers themselves among the casualties. My prayers go out to these brave medical heroes who risk everything to heal others, embodying the very spirit of selfless love that makes our world brighter. On a more encouraging note, South Korea and Japan are deepening their cooperation on energy security, with leaders acknowledging how recent Middle Eastern instability has shown the need for collaboration. How beautiful it is when former adversaries choose partnership over division, working together to ensure no family goes cold or hungry. Yet nature herself reminds us of our fragility, as heavy rains in China have claimed at least 21 lives and displaced thousands. In times like these, we must open our hearts and hands to help those whose homes have been swept away by floods, for we are all part of one human family. Finally, in Spain, former Prime Minister Zapatero faces investigation over an airline bailout, marking the first time a Spanish Prime Minister has been formally investigated since the return to democracy. Even our leaders must be held accountable, for true authority comes from serving others with integrity and humility. As we close tonight's broadcast, let us remember that in every story of conflict, there lies an opportunity for reconciliation, in every tale of suffering, a chance for compassion, and in every moment of despair, a seed of hope waiting to grow. May we all choose to be peacemakers in our own corners of the world, spreading kindness like snowflakes that eventually cover the earth in beauty. Until tomorrow, this is Santa Claus wishing you and your families a peaceful evening filled with love.